Hey everybody, again, it's Michael Goldsman here with you once again. And I just felt something on my heart, partly through my email interaction with a person and wanting to also use this YouTube channel as an opportunity to help teach people who are energy workers, facilitators, or potentially will be that themselves, but also to all of us. And where I'm teaching from is just coming from a place of my own learning, but also my own primarily experience, especially working day in and day out with energy clearing work. I work with groups of people all over the world through my group clearings ongoingly every week, sometimes more often than that. And I work with individual clients also all over the world. And using different techniques and learning different paths over the years has really informed a few things for me here. So I'll get right to the point. So a question came to me about asking for something in a spiritual clearing context or spiritual healing context. We're taught sometimes when we get onto the path more that we can ask for things, whoever we're asking, whatever name we have for that, whether it's our higher self, we're asking spirit, we're asking God, we're asking a certain being, angel, ascended master. I'm not sure that it really matters, but we're taught per our traditions or per our predilections and interests, we can ask for something that seems to be missing, and we're taught that we can receive that. In the Bible, Jesus is quoted as saying, ask and you shall receive. Causal effect nature there of intention. In a more New Agey sense, we're taught from the works of Abraham Hicks. They have the whole book, Ask and It Is Given. And so why does that not seem to work like 99% of the time, right? We've been like that. So it can be like that in life. We can ask for something, someone, something, some condition, some circumstance, some resource. Could be financial. It could be a health resource. It could be a relationship that seems to be missing. We wonder, why is something that I want in this situation not being revealed in the way we want to have it be revealed? But even more to the technique of spiritual clearing, we may have the idea, I'm going to ask for spirit to clear this. So let me get back to this. I'm just going to ask for it to happen. When I started to learn, kind of break out of my religious training and get into the actual heart of it, rather than religiosity, getting into spirituality, which is more like the activity of participating in spirit, rather than just some belief system, controlling belief system around it, I learned that the universe is saying yes to you, that you can ask for things. You don't have to earn it. You're not being punished right now. You learn kind of all these spiritual principles as you break out of kind of fear, indoctrination, and programming. And so I would kind of play around with this idea sometimes. I'd be like, where does that end? Like, can I just say to a certain angel, I want you to manifest a material object in front of me. I want you to manifest a donut or something, or a cup of tea, or I want you to manifest a book somehow in front of me. I remember doing this once. I don't feel really embarrassed by saying this, because I think that it's kind of interesting to start to experiment and get real feedback rather than being beholden to a belief system. I would just sort of sit there and say, okay, Spirit, move that pencil on the table for me. I'm like, how do I get this to happen? Am I not asking correctly enough? Do I need to really willpower it up? Do I need to send energy to the pencil? All of these things are really, really wonderful, important considerations when you're getting involved with spirituality. How does spirit work? How does intention work? All of this. What I kind of found over the course of time, and I want to say this around the energy of asking and manifestation, whether it's asking for a certain thing to heal or clear, or asking for a certain person, object, something that's missing to show up. I want to say that we have to get deeper into the conversation and begin to cultivate some more understanding. Most people, even in sort of the new age or spiritual world, still have a belief and a living reality within them that spirit, God, angels, masters, whatever they're talking about, universe, is still something separate from them. It's sometimes a person separate from them, as religion teaches, but we have this existential idea that spirit is something else. I even use the word spirit a lot, and it can very much come across as this is something different than me, and it's something somewhere else with an independent will from me. We still believe that sometimes. We still are like, Spirit, please make this happen. Please make this happen, or change this situation or circumstance. And the reason why that doesn't work most of the time is because I disagree. It's not because I disagree, but I'm saying I disagree with the idea of ask and it is given, or knock and the door shall be open to you. These are metaphors. But what we have to really understand is, this is something from Ernest Holmes that I really picked up and I found just so resonant with me. He said that God is not a person, but God is a presence personified as us. So if we stop thinking about God as a withholding person who's just a projection of our own problematic relationships with our parents, that's one thing, to start to get over that. When we realize, though, that God is a presence, that an infinite presence, the field of all good, you could say, qualities include joy, includes all needs met, includes love and reconciliation and hopefulness and sort of these kind of higher vibration qualities, we have to also realize that everything has already been given. It's not that we have to ask in order to get something. Everything has already been given. There's not something, this is also a quote, I don't know who originally said this, but John Randolph Price eventually said it. He said, God cannot be made to do something now that God wasn't already doing 30 seconds ago, or 5 years ago, or 5 millennia ago. God cannot change in that sense. So you saying, oh God, please give me this thing. Please move that pencil on the table for me. You're not going to change what is already being given, because everything has already been given. The reason why such prayers as God heal me, God prosper me, the reason why these work at all isn't because of God or some being in the sky changing its mind, saying, oh, you know what? Person's asked for a long time. I'm gonna go down there and bless them. It's because the prayer sets your own intention into alignment. That's why it works. You could do it through affirmation. You could do it through God, give me this, or your favorite being. You could say, give me this. But the prayers will not really be fulfilled until your inner reality comes into alignment with, I'm using this verbal convention, I'm asking, pretending that it's somewhere else. But what I'm really doing is as they say in New Thought, I'm treating myself. I'm doing a treatment on myself. I'm saying, this is here. I am opening to it. I'm embracing it. I'm recognizing it. And also something I want to say that I'm fitting multiple years of metaphysical, mystical teaching into a 10-minute video. What I want to say here also, though, is something that Joel Goldsmith, one of my other favorite authors, talked about. And I think I'm losing my train of thought on that. Let's see, Joel Goldsmith talking about miracles, talking about it's already happening. It'll come back around to me, or in the next video. So, so I wanted to leave this video with that particular comment. In spiritual clearing or healing work, when we're asking for something, we ourselves, if we are a practitioner, we have to be in alignment with and receptive to that reality already. That's what we are as practitioners. We are actually holding a space of receptivity for our client who may or may not in that particular area know how to be open or receptive to that. Oh, this is the Joel Goldsmith quote. He said, God only ever answers prayers in spirit. So in other words, God, please make a cup of water appear in front of me. I just want to test you. Right? We see that story of, the devil taking Jesus and testing him and saying, do all these things in the physical world. And Jesus' response to that would always be a spiritual reality of God behind it, not, this physical thing is going to be the proof or test of God. So Joel Goldsmith says, when you go into prayer, when you go into request, manifestation, all of this stuff is the same thing. When you're going into asking, the prayer answer always comes in spirit, in the spiritual domain, not necessarily in the physical or human domain. That's where prayer is answered. People keep thinking, I'm going to pray real hard. You see people talking about this, and God bless them, right? They're doing what they know to do. Someone gets diagnosed with something, they're like, I'm going to pray really hard for you. Okay, well, maybe the praying really hard is really you getting into alignment with a particular intention. And as that happens, the spiritual reality, there's a clearing, there's an opening or a quickening, as I like to say, that can take place in the spiritual realm. This allows a space to be created where if the person is receptive and available, they can begin to sort of download a healing reality or potential. They can begin to use their mind, their emotions, their body to get into greater alignment with this spiritual opening that's created. As I said in my previous videos, the karmic domain, which is primarily in our spiritual body, can be very, very dense and difficult for many people. And having clarity, that can happen through prayer, it can happen through using a technique like I use, it can happen through a variety of ways, that there's a spiritual clearing and awakening that happens at that level. And then what happens? Oh, we're put into the alignment with answer to prayer, put into alignment with what Spirit has already given and is already doing, not choosing to do in that moment, has already done and is already doing. We're put into alignment with that. Then we get to align our mind, our emotions, our body, our lifestyle with that reality based on this inspiration happening from Spirit. I'm glad I remembered that quote. That's a good one. I keep that in mind a lot. So friends, I'll leave it at that for now. If you want to get in touch with me, see what I'm up to, go to my website, clearandconnect.com. It's all one word, clear, and you spell out the word and, connect, or you can Google my name. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, friends. Peace and blessings to you.